Welcome to Calgary, Alberta, Canada. It has been our home for a while here, as the recognizable downtown with the Calgary Tower you see there was built starting in 1967, was lit up during the Olympic Winter Games in 1988. We're at Canada Olympic Park, where numerous events during those games took part. But a new building, the Winsport Arena, is specifically where we have been, and we've determined the 6 teams going to next year's Olympic Winter Games. We are down to 4 at the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2021. And the semifinal, the first one, is United States taking on Switzerland. Lone game out on the ice now from here on out. Here are the teams in this semifinal. In the USA, their lead, Tara Peterson. Their second, Becca Hamilton. Third player, Nina Roth. And the skip of Team USA is Tabitha Peterson. They're taking on the reigning world champions out of Switzerland. Their lead, Melanie Barbazet. Second, Esther Neuenschwander. Their skip, throwing third stone, Silvana Tiranzoni. And the fourth stone thrower, Alina Petz. Well, we're down to 4 teams, but here's how the round robin went. The 6 top teams qualify for the Olympics and the playoffs. Switzerland, RCF, Sweden, Denmark, United States, and Canada, all making the playoffs, while Korea just on the outside looking in. Then Scotland, Germany, and China 6 and 7, Japan 5 and 8, Czech Republic 3 and 10, Italy 2 and 11, and Estonia 1 and 12. So here's how the playoff format works. 3 versus 6 in the qualification games earlier today. Sweden beating Canada, so Sweden moves into the semi, well, as well does the United States beating Denmark 8-7. So Switzerland, US, RCF, Sweden, winners to the gold tomorrow. Losers will play for bronze. So that sets up the final stages here at the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2021. I'm proud to be here. I'm Luke Coley, along with Olympian and Canadian champion, I should say, Melissa Saligo. USA coming in off a big win this morning, riding some momentum.
Absolutely, Luke. They have a huge momentum going into this game. They played pretty well this morning, and they had a tough opponent in Denmark. Denmark finishing 4th, as you saw by the standings. So, big battle out there this morning, but USA coming out with that draw in the 10th end against 2 for the win.
And their reward, they get the top-seeded Swiss team that is riding high. They have the top record, but once the game starts, it really doesn't mean anything.
I agree, and you know, just looking at, and we'll probably talk about this a lot, but Switzerland, what an amazing week they've had. They were top of the standings at positions, top of the standings for the team, have had an incredible week all you know, this whole tournament. But most importantly now, it's about this. And they've rested this morning, right? They didn't have a game this morning, and now they're coming off a team that did play this morning.
So they, not rust, because it's not that long off, but Switzerland did mix up their lineup last night in a game against Estonia that didn't mean anything for them standing-wise. They had first locked up Stones, Hammer into this game.
And that's right. And Savannah sat out last night and got a chance to maybe just rest. And, you know, we've talked about it numerous times, how long this week is, and or 10 days really it is. And, you know, you've been in the bubble for a long time, and there's a lot of emotional fatigue and mental fatigue. And it was probably good to rest your skip last night. Why not?
Well, there's a mental drain, there's a physical drain. We'll see the final 4 teams trying to become world champions. Of course, Silvana Tiranzoni, Alina Petz, they were on top of the podium the last time we had the Women's Worlds in Denmark. As we see, stone colors, the US will have red. Switzerland gets their choice of stones with yellow and last stone.
And just to let people know that Switzerland does get choice of color and last stone simply because they did have a better record than the USA at the end of the round robin.
But once this first stone comes up, those records don't mean a thing. 7 and 6 in round robin for the US, 12 and 1 for Switzerland. But it's 10 ends of curling, maybe 11, to determine who's going to that gold medal game. As we see, Tara Peterson will get this game started for Team USA.
Yep, all the way. 2, 3. Line's fine. It's curling. Can you finish it?
And right off the get-go, we will see United States throwing a short rock in front of the rings. This is exactly what we saw them do in the qualifying game this morning. They've done this pretty much all week. They like a lot of rocks in play. They like to put pressure on their opposition.
Melanie Barbazat has had a great week. The physiotherapist by trade, but here, we'll see if she's had to do any work with her teammates this week. It's game number 14 for Team Switzerland. Well, deep in the rings and behind that center line guard.
So both teams will have this in mind. Obviously, this is the first time that we've seen only one sheet in action as we head into the semifinals and the finals and bronze games tomorrow. And because of that, you know, it's not like there's a lot of people in the building, obviously, but you have no one beside you now. So there's a difference in temperature, maybe a little bit difference in ice, and it's about which team can pick up on that the soonest.
It's all the way to it.
Well, they want to make this one, bring this one back to it as far as they can.
Right to it. Go, 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 go.
So not right to it. It's shot stone. We'll see if maybe there might be a bit of an advantage and experience for Silvana Tiranzoni and her team in that reading of the ice, because obviously the reigning world champs. This is the first time skipping for Tabitha Peterson at a Worlds.
And in fairness, the ice should be very, very similar to what it's been this entire championship. It's been moving, you know, moving great, lots of curl, both sides to the wings, and running about 14 to 14 and a half hog to hog. So you can expect the exact same thing to happen during this semifinal game.
Nice 5.
Full 8 foot would be good.
American second, Becca Hamilton.
Just a 5. 5.
Just wants to freeze behind that center.
Tons of line right now. I think we're gonna have to go. Go, Nina then. Go hard then. Nina then. You gotta curl it. No bump on this line. Where is it? We're right there. Whoa. Okay. Top 4.
Whoa.
Yep. Tara. We're not. Yep. Go, 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 go.
Good plan B.
Okay.
Nice call. What was that?
4-2.
Made that plan B real late. I almost thought it was too late.
I did too, but a fabulous call there by Tabitha. The weight was right on. They knew it was top 4, maybe T-line weight, and made that last-minute call just to get it behind that Yellowstone. The last thing you want to do there is hit the yellow and roll off. That would give Switzerland a huge advantage here early in this first end.
So now that they're able to, after the first 5 stones have been thrown, they can peel that guard.
Okay.
Opens up those on the center line. Rules of play in the playoffs, 8 ends minimum must be played. 38 minutes of thinking time with 1 60-second timeout.
All right. Nice to hair off nose. Yep.
9. Clean. 9. Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Hard.
Yep. Hard.
You hear that number 9? That is the speed of the rock between the 2 hog lines.
Tried to avoid losing their own and
That's okay.
end up killing that redstone on the button.
Yeah.
Frosty. 9.
Definitely not what they wanted, obviously, but the good news is for United States is they were able to keep the shooter in play. So it does force Switzerland to have to make a play on it. But for Switzerland, they're looking for a hit and roll to the other side of the rings, preferably lie 2 at the end of the shot.
Now there's the hit. They want to get some separation. Will lie 2.
Like that.
Looks like she's maybe lined up the double here. They really wanted that to roll another 2-3 feet. So good opportunity here now for Nina Roth to try and make the double on these 2 yellows.
Field. Whoa. Tara. Whoa. Back up. Hard. Back. Hard.
Well, double made back. Or Nina Roth sits in front.
Nicely done.
It's nice to be able to pick up your teammate, make that double takeout.
Great throw, great brush, great management, and great call. That's just one shot that, you know, especially in the first end. Not always easy to make those at any time, but in the first hand, that's, you know, you always think there's maybe a little bit of nerves, but just a terrific shot. Savannah's looking to play the double right back here. If she can make the double, she might keep the blank alive here in the first end.
Even if they do lose that back one, more so get rid of the reds.
For sure. Yeah, number one job is to make the double. You can see that she's throwing a little less weight here than the United States did.
Well, doesn't get rid of either, actually. Will jam and leaves those back 12 foot.
Yeah, kind of like 9-5. You like here? Right here.
And honestly, Luke, I was a little surprised about the weight that was just thrown there. I'm surprised they didn't throw just a tiny bit more to try and at least get one of those red ones out of the rings.
9, 8, 5. Yep.
So if US can hit and stick here, they'll be line 3, and they'll definitely have a force in a force situation for Switzerland.
Atta girl. Nice weight.
It's a nice, simple decision. Play the hit, and now line 3. Chance maybe make a double here, make a double on Alina's first and get out of it.
They're going to try for sure. If she could ever make the double, even the double, and roll towards the other red stone. Try and group the stones if she can. Job number one is definitely remove a red rock and keep your shooter in play. You're looking at the numbers, the force efficiency for each team is very high actually for both teams. 62% force efficiency for Switzerland and 51 for USA, so both excellent numbers.
Well, so 2 missed attempts from Silvana Tiranzoni, and early advantage in this first end for Team USA.
Yeah, great start here for US so far, just putting lots of pressure and making sure not only are they making the hits, but they're saving their shooters. Comes back to that one of those earlier rocks where they made that plan B to come right around to force Switzerland to have to go and peel that center guard.
Let's go. Nice 9. Let's go, 10.
Tabitha looking for a hit and maybe a little roll to the center.
Yep. 9.
Of course, Tabitha, the older sister of the lead, Tara.
Whoa. Yes! Stay on it! Whoa. Yep. Atta girl.
Well done.
Great shot, Tab. Nicely done.
Avoids the jam. Lies 1, 2, 3 in this first end.
This is so important for the USA to have a strong start here, Luke. You know, we did talk about the records coming into this game. We know that they don't really mean anything now, but for USA, what that does say is they were a little bit up and down throughout the entire championship, where Switzerland was very steady, very consistent. So a strong start here by USA is really important for this team.
Bis achterhoofd.
Well, Tiranzoni couldn't make the doubles. See if Alina Petz can make a double on her first. And will just clip enough to remove that one.
Well done.
Let's go this way.
I like that.
Forces the US, they have to stick around.
And you can see Alina maybe just threw that little extra weight than Silvana did, and was just enough to catch that one at the back there. It's all that matters. It's gone.
It goes away, and now the US still in a force position, try and hit back.
Gotta like that when you hear the word clean.
Stays in the 4 foot, so force is on, and Alina Petz will look to hit and stick. Get their single point. So we are on sheet C for the first semifinal. Another one coming up later tonight to determine who will be in that gold medal game tomorrow. Well, the U.S. seems in good spirits. Obviously a great start for them. Switzerland forced to hit for a single point. And makes the hit, will stick in the 4 foot. So first end done. A single point by Switzerland. They lead USA 1-0 after one end to play. Well, the Winsport Arena, LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2021. First of 2 semifinals. Sudden death games going on. USA has already won their qualifying game earlier today over Denmark. Trying to make it 2 more, and that means a gold medal. For either of these teams, they win their last 2 games.
It's such a funny perspective when you think about it, right? I only need to win 2 games to win a world championship, but that's a huge 2 games and lots to do within those games to do that.
So center line guard goes up this time for Switzerland, USA to come around. And these teams, definitely a lot of pressure off now that we're into this stage of it. Even the US, even though they didn't win this morning, there was less pressure for Tara Peterson and this U.S. team, knowing that they've qualified their nation for the Olympic Winter Games next year in Beijing.
Well, so huge for those 6 countries that did qualify, and 4 of them, 2 of them obviously being out here, but it's just such a huge relief. And, you know, with everything going on in the world and the bubble situation here that everyone's been a part of, and a couple of COVID scares early in the week, it's huge, right? It's huge to finally come out on top and get your country a spot at the next Olympics.
And it is just a 1-year qualification, so the top 6 teams made the playoffs, including Melanie Barbazet and Switzerland. Reigning world champion Switzerland, winning 5 of the last 8 world women's titles.
What an incredible program that Switzerland has right now, especially on the women's side. Just well, both sides really, but just fantastic.
Just a little bounce off.
I don't know how much you can get up here, but
And that little bounce, Luke, that really is the difference between a perfect shot and a, you know, a decent shot. Like you know, you'd probably get maybe a 2 out of 4 out of that on the scoring sheet, simply because it did bounce off, and it gives you USA or your opposition a chance to now hit and roll away and set up your deuce.
Hold on. No. Queen. No.
Other way, can we go out?
Neen. Yep, Becca. Whoa. Rolling out on its own. Rolling out no matter what.
Whoa. Atta girl.
9-5, Tara.
Atta girl.
Well, finds a way to stick around. Rolling to the wing to lie 2.
Better. I like that a lot. I like that better.
Yeah, it sounded like they were maybe
wanted to
trying to
ask
hit
about
and
that.
roll under, but I
wasn't sure if they
think
were-
that was a very smart call, actually hitting and rolling away.
Yep.
One thing you don't need to do, obviously, you don't need to have a lot of rocks in the 4-foot area right away and really tighten up that scoring area. So I think that's a good call by USA.
Oh, Esther Neuenschwander, an aggressive call.
Very aggressive for Switzerland, who does not have hammer here in the second end. This is typical of what we've seen for Switzerland. They have no fear. They like to call that aggressive game. They like to put pressure on their opposition, and they make a ton of them.
You'll probably clip it if you'll clip this one if you try to do that. Okay?
I only
like-
have just.
Do you like here?
How much do you have? Like less than half.
What weight do you like?
Yeah, I think I like bumper.
Okay. Let's go back.
So 11.5.
Yeah, 11-5.
Can I just have a little more?
Yep.
That's good. Bumper.
11. Clean.
Whoa.
11-5. Yep. Clean, Neen. Yep. Yep. Come on, Neen. Hard. Come on, Neen. All the way. Come on.
Whoa.
Oh, Neen. Yep. Come on, Neen.
Oh! Stop! No!
Sorry, Beck. I thought it would roll more. Go, 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 go.
Well, they're
Yep.
trying to anticipate the curl, it seemed, and they
Thought it would
overswept
clip a
it.
little harder, sorry. 11-4.
They did. They pounded that one most
weight.
of the way down, thinking that it was tight out of her hand, but definitely an oversweep. They do manage to separate the stones, which is huge, and they push the yellow Switzerland stone behind the tee line.
Keep though.
So a little work to do here now for Switzerland. They're not going to leave 3 red opposition stones around.
Coach of the Swiss team, Pierre Charette. Canadian joining forces with the Swiss team
You know?
this season.
Noon. Whoa. Noon. Manny.
It's a smart call here by Switzerland. You know, you don't have hammer, you've been aggressive early, but the last thing you want to do is just leave these little red stones, opposition stones, hanging around. So that was a good call.
Yellow.
Well, another Canadian, this time on the American side, Lainey
Kinda
Peters,
long.
the
Okay.
world
What?
bronze medalist,
That's kind of long, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of long.
Okay.
numerous
I like that
times to the
fluid
world
pattern.
championship as the
What if we
alternate
straight peel,
with Colleen Jones, and
and they're gonna hit one of ours or put it back
yeah.
up.
last at the
I think
Worlds in
either we come down
2016.
to it or peel that into it. Just top button.
Yeah, I mean,
Can we-
we're just shrinking our rings if we do this is all.
Yeah. I agree. Peel it into it.
Okay,
Either peel it into it or open it up. I think
Okay.
is good.
sounds good. All
Okay.
right, let's go back. Nice and positive.
So the discussion there is, do they play the draw and freeze to those yellow stones that are back of the rings? But you heard the comment, if they do that, they definitely tighten up their
Shot
scoring
back.
area, but this was a fantastic shot by Becca.
Nice.
Leaves their stone out in front. Still shot stone for Switzerland, but the 4-foot open.
Yeah, they would have loved to have hit that on the other side, run it in, maybe double the yellow ones, but most importantly, roll the red stone, the red one just thrown off. But I think that's a huge shot. I think that was a better call than perhaps throwing the freeze and really tightening up your scoring area too early.
So Terranzoni, the skip, throwing the third stones.
Top.
Yep. 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 Yep.
Fast. Pourquoi moi je regarde? Fast, 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 fast.
Well, avoids the jam, rolls to the outside.
Okay.
Maybe third shot.
I think it is. I think they were
it's us.
definitely trying to hit and roll the other way towards the center line.
Nice little hit here.
Would love to have been lined first and
10-5.
second.
You like that?
Yeah.
But
I have
as you
a
say,
little-
Luke, I'm
that's good.
pretty sure it's that yellow was third stone or third shot.
Clean.
Nina Roth, who skipped this team, this group numerous times. They played together over different periods, but now playing third.
Yep. Hard, Tara. Stay on it. Good speed. Really good speed. Nice weight gain. 10-5.
So I do believe they are lying 2.
That was a big shot for Nina Roth. It looked like an easy hit, open, you know, kind of an open hit. But it's so important there that you stayed for shot or second shot. You want to lie 2, and that's exactly what USA is doing. They're set up for their 2. They set up for their 2 earlier, and they would love to get 2 out of this end.
Schon fein. Ja. Ich denke, so wie gestern, so 11, halb 11, bist gut.
Jetzt da einfach schön kontrolliert.
Ja, genau. Ja.
Ist gut?
Ein bisschen mehr Sport. Komm. Komm.
Trying to get this one by. And they'll touch the guard and just tick it over.
Yeah, I was actually, just before that happened, I was looking at Silvana's release. It seemed like a really flat release. And the flatter the release, the more the rock will curl. I was just a little bit surprised at how she let that one go.
Sure we can hit it. Yeah, no,
They
I'm
did their
pretty sure
best
it's
to
us.
try and hold it, but
We're probably drawing over there anyway.
did over curl as we just saw. So
Yeah, I
great
mean,
opportunity here for
right
USA.
here.
Okay.
Get a chance to look at that, Melissa, and the release.
Yeah, you see that, Luke. It's just she just sort of dropped her hand almost. Not a very definite release, and on this kind of ice that curls so much, you want to be very specific on your release and very positive. Just
I mean, good rotation on it.
Exactly, yes, good rotation.
You see that here. Much more rotation on that one for Nina Roth in comparison.
Yeah, we like to say, like, you control the rock, you put the positive rotation on it.
Keep cleaning.
And look at how much this still curls, right, even with that kind of rotation. So it's really important, you know, on ice that curls so much, especially arena ice.
Sit. Can you
The
sit
extra
one?
weight,
Sit.
does it stick around?
Good.
And it will to outcount
3-5. Good enough.
that yellow. So I believe they're lying 1, 2, 3.
No worries. They just...
Switzerland needs to find a way to try and limit the damage here.
Muss sie nachher wickeln, wenn sie wickeln, können wir freisen. Stimmt, ja. Sonst
hätten wir den Doppel. Ja, das ist gut.
Gut. Fort. Die ist sehr gut gewesen, glaube ich.
Ja. So. Yep.
So it doesn't look like there's any easy doubles to be made. So
Die
two options, they can hit and roll behind the center, which will be behind the tee line, or they can hit and roll towards the other red stone and try and group them.
Bisschen nauer.
31 years of age for Alina Petz. Been a part of 3 World Championship gold medal teams, World Mixed Doubles champion. Pretty good resume at just 31. Hit, little roll to the outside.
Okay, das ist gut. 2-7. Gut.
And you might wonder, like, they could have played that a little bit more aggressive, try and hit and roll, you know, more towards that red one by sweeping it earlier. But the important thing there is Switzerland did not want to roll out, because if they did, then you'll see United States bury one on the forefoot behind that center line guard. So very safe call by Switzerland, very good call. And the thing for USA right now, they just want to roll to a spot where they're not setting up any kind of double if they can avoid it.
9-5. Okay. I like that. What kind of weight? 9-5. Sounds good. I think we want to flop a little your way, Tara. Yep, I like that. Sounds good.
You don't see Tabitha waver very much in her expression. She's very even-keeled. Sort of fits being a skip at this level and being able to make the shots.
Oh, definitely. You know, you My coach always used to say when I walk into an arena and I don't know what the score is, you should always have the same expression, right?
Close. Clean. Close. Yep.
First time skipping at a world championship for Tabitha, and it's got a good second end going right now.
That's good. That's really good.
Very nice.
If a double's not made, chance at 3.
Good calls, Neen.
Zacht is goed, ja.
Ich glaube, aus dem Steil lang viel.
Gut.
Yep.
Wie lang?
Sachte, 2 Drittel.
Ja. 2 Drittel. Ja. Gut. Ja.
Yeah, USA would have liked to have rolled a little bit more towards the center line. They didn't want to obviously bury it behind that guard. But it does look like the double's there now.
Daher Spazi. Ja.
If not, the hit and roll. Try and take this end away from US.
Is goed? Ja. Ja. Thuis. Yep. Whoa. Hop. Hop. Whoa.
Well, here trying to come up, double hit and roll. They'll make the double and sit there.
Great shot.
Goed. Super Patsy.
What a terrific shot by Alina. Nice call there by Silvana. That was a huge shot to get out of the end and only give up a deuce, a potential deuce. So the shot has to still be made,
Goed. Goed gespeeld.
but well done.
Super gespeeld. Goed.
10.
It does look like second shot is belonging to the US. They seem pretty content, the way they called it earlier in the end, that this would be a hit for 2.
Yes, I guess I shouldn't make the assumption that it is. Obviously, we're up here. We can't see perfectly, but just by some conversations, it does look like US is lying second.
Clean.
So make the hit and stick for Tabitha Peterson, USA.
Clean.
Get a great start. A force in the first, chance at 2 now in the second.
Tara's got a curl.
Really,
A lot. Yep.
Tara trying to get this one over to make the hit. Makes the hit,
Sorry, guys.
but rolls out, so missed opportunity for those points.
Just kind of popped it a hair.
And it is 1 for Team USA, so the rollout means a single point by Team USA. We're all square, 1-1. As much as Tara was trying to get that one over for her sister.
Sorry, guys.
Not able to, just a bit more weight. So 1-1 after 2.
So we'll go short again?
Ja.
Cool. What do they think about?
Third end, welcome back. Hopefully you've been enjoying the first couple ends. Luke Gola here with Melissa Saligo in the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2021.
Ready to finish it again. Mine's good.
USA,
Really holding it out
Switzerland.
there.
Great start for the US. They just couldn't finish off that second end.
Fun.
No, and
Looking good.
they've really put
Yep.
together
5-6.
2 really strong ends to start this semifinal game. And
Not a girl.
Great sweep.
you know, it's just an unfortunate break there for Tabitha. She maybe was a little heavy, a little wide. You heard her say she popped it. That means she was probably a little wide on her release. And it just tough to finish it with that kind of weight, 9.5 from hog to hog. And unfortunately rolls out. Big point though, that's a big miss point.
Well, these lead stones have been important, and right now it's been an early edge to Team USA to start off the first 2 ends of the game.
Snoer achter. Yes. Sneller. Go, go, go.
Whoa!
Gut so. Gut gespielt.
Nice shot.
4-7. 4-5.
Just a touch more.
Yep.
You're hearing a lot, and the voice that you hear, the cheerleader, the firecracker on this U.S. team. There's Tara Peterson at the lead spot. You can definitely see that already in this game.
It's still laps of line.
Lots of positive encouragement, trying to keep things going for a team.
Only for line.
Close, yep.
Yep.
When she's not throwing or sweeping, she's definitely cheering on her partner.
Finish it. 14. Yep. Okay, good call, you guys. Good.
I think we'll round right to the button.
Goed. Voor de 14. Ja, 4 voor. Is goed.
Endlich mal.
Nu knap. 7,5. Ja, nu knap. Is oké?
Ik vind het eigenlijk knap im Fall.
Ik vind het goed.
Oh, look normaal.
Dat is goed. Voor 8. Ik vind het goed.
Kans 4.
Voor 8.
Kans 4, hard.
Die is goed. Zie je aber.
Zie je.
Wees.
Bis
Kom
drauf.
Kom. Wees.
Go, Esther.
Trying to sneak it past that one in the top of the house.
Zie je. Oké.
Not quite.
Goed zo.
No, it just rubs off. Would have liked to have gotten that around, but you just see it here, Luke. They were trying so hard to get that by. It was just maybe a couple feet light and just over curled.
Doorgespeeld vonden, ik geloof.
Not a lot that
love
USA
that.
can do with it
Okay.
right now, to be
I don't mind
honest.
coming down to that one that's buried. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think that's about the only thing they can do.
Yeah, this path is nice back.
Maybe a 15.
The stagger protecting that stone in the button.
And for USA, you almost want to corner freeze to the one that's in the top 12, actually. You don't want to freeze the one that was just thrown by Switzerland, because it looks like it could be lined up to hit the one on the button. So placement of the stone is so crucial here.
Whoa!
You don't want to line it up for Switzerland.
Whoa, it's gotta move.
Line's getting really good. It's right in there. Right in there.
Finish it.
Nice. Good shot, Beck. Good.
I really think you wanted to corner freeze that to the top 12. I know that's the shot that they called, but if you look at it, it's pretty lined up.
You have it curls on the other side of center.
Yeah, another inch.
Vind ik goed.
There's a very good look at it. I mean, you do have to hit what you can see of that red stone to make sure that it doesn't interfere with, or the yellow stone on the left doesn't interfere with it.
Ja, wäre nasse. Oké, Zien is dat we goed. net gaan terugmaken, aber
Ja,
super. Goed.
But I think pretty much where you hit that red one, it is going to make contact with that yellow stone, no matter what. So it will push it back at in some fashion.
Is goed. Zeer best. Ja. Best.
Stone placement key, and see what Switzerland can manage with this one.
Yeah, I think that was just a little bit of a mistake there by USA, but we'll see what happens.
Oh, and Switzerland can't take advantage. They touch the guard.
Okay.
Still USA lying one.
Just on nose.
Can I nose that yellow?
I think so. Yeah.
I think that'll get them both.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I throw 9-5 or 9?
I like 9.
Okay.
So, you know, USA could definitely say,
Yeah, it's like a
I mean, it's so early in the end, so it's hard to say I want to put my foot on the gas pedal right now and throw another guard. They could do that for sure, but those yellow stones aren't really in favor, and there's an easy way to get rid of them now, so you might as well.
Hurry!
This was a little tight out of her hand, though, right off the bat.
Come on, Nene.
I think she's hitting her own.
Whoa.
Well, and they'll make that shot for Switzerland.
Go.
Oh,
Hard,
Tab,
hard.
go.
More.
Go, Tab, go. Go. More.
Yeah, you have to hit that one anywhere on the outside. You could not cross center and hit your own first. Another little mistake there by Team USA.
Were you surprised with the turn they threw?
No, I think I liked the turn, but I probably would have thrown it a little harder and just really
Go,
firm.
Tab, go. Go. More.
The good news for USA is the two reds are still in play. I think maybe second and fourth, but good opportunity here now for Switzerland.
Just Sammy.
Alina. Zie je? Best.
In de bal.
Go.
Well, makes the hit, rolls in, so it is Switzerland line 2, maybe 3.
Yeah, maybe 3. And it was hard for Switzerland to find a good place to roll there without jamming on that one at the back. So it does look like now there's a potential double here for the U.S. But a nice shot there by Switzerland.
Yep. Hard. Come on, Sarah. Hard.
Right away, again, out of the hand by Team USA.
Whoa. Can you flop it right on top? Whoa.
And rolls
Canyon.
right in front, frozen.
That's fine.
Another plan B.
Draw.
Yeah, that's good, Neen.
That works, Sarah.
Good call there by Tabitha.
Ja, vind je goed. Snel spelen voor Ine. Ja? Also,
Yeah, an interesting dynamic with this U.S. team is Nina skipped for a long time. Last year, had a baby, and obviously wasn't curling. Tabitha takes over, and now they switch roles leading into this year and have great success. So something they work for. Sometimes dynamic just fits a little bit better.
And it's all about embracing your position, right? Regardless of what position you're playing, you have to embrace it. A good job for for Nina, like stepping away, have her baby, and now to come back and play very solid at 3rd position.
And a little different for Switzerland. Silvana Tiernzoni, the skip, throws the 3rd stones. It's an easy one for her, knowing who's throwing those last 2 stones for Team Switzerland.
I really like this call by Switzerland. They're just throwing a nice soft tap back weight, trying to unlock those 2 stones.
Okay.
Maybe over curled a little more than they were expecting, but the key was that they unlocked the yellow stone behind the red one. So hopefully they'll have another chance to run the double on it. If this double is made first.
Let me see if we're fit.
Yeah, if we can double those 2 yellows, let them deal with it.
This one's over that.
Okay,
You
even
like
the
this?
hit and roll there is good.
Yeah. The
I like
double
it.
or the roll? What? Yeah.
Are we going for the double or the hit and roll?
This double.
That double. Okay. You want peel
Sure. Yeah.
or not? Okay.
Let's go.
There was 2 different options of the double.
There is. I find it interesting, again, just putting my coaching hat on for a second here, is
Whoa.
it's interesting that teams, when you're trying to throw a double, that you
Past the other double.
want to throw peel weight. There's no need, I don't think, to throw peel weight. You've been throwing 9.5s, 9, which is great normal weight. I mean, if you know the ice, that's fine, but
Just rolls across the top.
yeah, didn't get either of them.
Canyon.
Yep. Go.
It's past the other double.
Just one of those in-between shots where you knew you had options, but it doesn't line up the way you want. So a couple little mistakes by Team USA, and it has opened the door now for the Swiss to generate some offense.
Genau, mit seiner halb. Ja.
I didn't quite see the call loop, but I'm going to assume that they're going to try and hit and roll maybe towards that red corner guard.
Yeah, I think I saw that as the indication for Alina as Silvana headed down.
Number 1, they want to hit and stick. Obviously, number 2, they want to try and prevent giving USA a double on the 2 yellows. Now that they're trying to set up their deuce here. But they don't have a lot of room to roll simply because of that red stone that's top 8. Nice shot. That's perfect.
Goed.
dus zelfs de hand, mega.
Ja.
Genau.
Love the idea of getting around that.
Super zo.
Yeah. Could freeze here. How much do you have? 3/4. 3/4.
Mega. Så i vad som ska in i sig.
Ja.
Säger man det. Och sen till fisk.
This is the spot that goes a little bit. Do you like, what do you like for rate? 10, 10, 5?
I like 10. 10's good.
Is that okay for them? A little less maybe?
I don't think any less. I think
It looks like a lot for a 10. What kind of weight?
So So playing a little quieter hit weight at 10 seconds hug to hug.
That is, so 10 is about a control weight.
Trying to roll my way.
You know, normal is around that 9.95.
Wherever you like.
Peel, you're throwing maybe probably about 7.5, 8 between the two hog lines. So teams will always have these different weight options, you know, in their bag of tricks. It's nice when you can throw the same weight more often than not. But because this one's maybe a little bit buried, they're throwing down a little.
They thought this spot might go a bit.
You people are scaring me.
Atta girl.
And makes a little roll to the back of the button.
Nicely done. Good job. Four.
I did. 9-7. 9-6.
Hear Tara say these people are scaring me. I'm not. I guess maybe because it got kind of close to the guard. That was funny.
Yeah, just the way it was. They went hard early and then got off. It's, you sort of think, are we on the guard?
So I think for Switzerland, the only thing they can't really do here is nose it. They do need to roll somewhere to try and prevent, again, giving the USA an option at a double.
Staan op. Nee, wacht. Melly, Melly, is een beetje rijden, moest Melly. Andere zijde, Tiri. Blijf net naast zich gaan. Nee, ja, nemen dan. Esther. Fish. Het is zwart.
They were in between it, so you could tell with the line call, and they nose it. You said it, Melissa. That's where they didn't want to go. Roll even away is okay.
Absolutely. You had to roll somewhere for sure. They were kind of stuck in between there. So fantastic opportunity here now for Tabitha Peterson and Team USA.
You said feel me?
8-5. What?
Feel?
Sounds great.
8-5.
So if they can make this double, which they would like to do, it would give Switzerland an opportunity for a double to actually get 2, because we do know that yellow one is out counting the red USA stone.
Yep. Hard. Hurry. Hard, Tara, you got it.
Hard, you got it!
Again, a big scrub for Team USA. Got to make the double.
Get it over
Do they enough to get it out?
Atta girl.
Good job. Okay.
Make the double,
Nicely done. Yeah.
but it's now a double back for 2 for Team Switzerland.
Ja, das ist nicht da schon im ersten Amt fast gespielt.
Nein, aber macht nichts, okay? 9. Ich glaube, aus der Steil lange, Tiri.
Ja, gut. Hard, Tara, you got it.
Hard, you got it!
Come on. Hard, stay on it.
Well, throwing that one hard, you see Tara again, all the way down.
Yes, go.
Atta girl.
Good job. Okay.
That's it.
And you see some teams will have the sweeper with the slider on, some with a gripper, and Tara sliding down the ice on that left side of the stone.
Yeah, that one had some speed on it, so Tara trying to keep up. Great job there with the brushing. So huge opportunity here now for Team Switzerland to get this double and try and put 2 on the board.
Got to make both go away, and look at that, right on the nose, no problem.
Fantastic.
Reigning world champion Alina Petz takes advantage, scores a 2.
Ganz nervös.
Just a light clean from Neuenschwander. Hits it absolutely perfect.
Allez.
And a 3-1 lead over the U.S. in this semifinal.
Einfach scharf. Ja, sehr scharf.
They're gonna go tight. You're going around again.
Are they going tight? Yeah. If they do, I do like it.
The come around.
We could go.
Giving a 90. Ja, ja. Ganz Vierfuß ist perfekt.
Yep.
Fing da mega gut.
We see all 14 flags hanging here at the Winsport Arena. And the 14 teams, the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2021. First time at a Worlds we've seen 14 teams.
Yep.
Obviously with the cancellation of last year's Worlds. And then this year they actually had canceled it. It was looking like there may not be a World Women's Championship this season. But they added to the bubble here. It was originally scheduled in Switzerland. Switzerland would have been the host nation, but they come over here and are now in another semifinal at a World Championship. Been the dominant nation in the women's game right now.
Sit. That's in.
At the world level. They haven't had that ultimate success at the Olympic Games, especially for a long time. Only 2 medals, and those were back in 2002 and 2006.
Sorry, guys.
Whereas you look at Sweden, who's had a lot of success at the Olympics. They'll be in tonight's semifinal against RCF. Someone slides in for the U.S., so an early mistake in this game, in this fourth end, pardon me.
Yeah, that is a, you know, that's an unfortunate, really an unforced error for Tara and Team USA. You have to get those guards up front, especially you're down 2 now with that great double there by Alina Petz in that last end. So now it's all about trying to set something up, and with Hammer here in the fourth end, this is the end that you'd love to be able to score your deuce back right away.
Okay, it was not positive at all. Line's good though. Line's just running. It's kind of running.
Whoa. It's good. It's
Wait
really
only.
nice.
Wait only.
To your broom.
Really running still.
To your broom.
You want to take advantage. This is the first time in an end where we saw that first stone come into the rings. The first 3 were all that center line guard.
And that's about scoreboard management. When you are up 1, even 2 especially, but even if you're up 1 sometimes, you throw that first one into the rings and you take over that that control zone, and you know, in the 4-foot area, top 4 area, which was perfect throw there by Melanie, and you force your opponent to have to throw the corner, and they have to now make something happen. They have to make some really good shots to try and generate a deuce. Because eventually you're going to have to deal with the rock that is in the top 4.
Komt 1 naast op de ander. Voor de 4. Go. Goed zo. Ben je bereid gewesen met hem? Ik vind hem van niet. Ik ben überrascht gewesen.
So 3 in the rings early for Switzerland, then 1 corner.
Kind of push these back.
I think just a simple hit and roll is fine. As long as we stick around.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
Kind of wait. Here.
10-5.
Maybe a 10. Okay.
Good comments there by USA. They're going to play the hit and roll. Yellow one's starting to pile up in the middle there, so it'd be nice to move something around and most importantly roll your shooter behind that corner if you can.
Yep, stay on it. Stay on it.
I think this one's going to over curl.
Yep, go. Yes, Kat, yes.
Why are you sweeping like that?
Because I want backing.
I know, but you're sleeping funny.
Ja, is goed.
Weer voor innen.
Ja, is goed.
Sunny.
Ja, goed.
Gerade auf die Mitte.
Ja, is goed.
Ja, vind jij wel.
Tip top.
So a little mistake, and we've seen a couple. Becca early in this game, as we see tournament numbers, we're going to see this Swiss team is the top of the charts in every position. Make the hit, avoid the jam. Kills the back one, probably don't even mind doing that.
No, and you heard Tabitha refer to wanting to keep backing, so she was actually okay with that rock that was the back 12.
Yeah.
So trying to use that corner guard for this U.S. team that Obviously, it's a different lineup. I mentioned it previously. Nina and Tabitha basically swapping positions, but a lot of input from all 4 team members.
Me? Curl it.
No. Roll it. Get the block. Yep.
Oh, gets the roll behind the corner.
Nice, get in.
Lovely shot.
1-1.
Vor. Ist gut.
Ja, siehst du nicht so, tritt du ein bisschen mehr.
Ja, sonst machen wir vor und rollen rein.
Das ist gut.
Gut.
On this kind of ice, Luke, you almost have to over roll behind those kind of guards simply because of the amount of curl. There is that opportunity now for Switzerland to access that rock even though it's fully buried. You might be able to see an inch or so.
Silvana at 85%. He's had quite a week at the 3rd stone position.
Whoa. Whoa. Achtung.
Eher knapp.
Achtung, ja.
Zieh.
Whoa. Ja. Zieh. Go. Whoa. Oh. Yep.
You said it, Melissa. They get to that one with ease and actually get a nice roll to the side of the button.
Super gespielt. Gute Länge.
USA has to decide at some point here that the things are just not going their way this end. They just
don't think
can't
you'll
seem
roll
to
under,
generate anything.
Okay.
So at what point do you just maybe start to bail, see if you can
I
keep
think we
that
just
blank
start hitting,
alive?
Try to make doubles.
Yeah, whichever double's easiest.
Okay.
That one.
This one.
I think they might be listening,
Deal?
Melissa.
Or 9.
Yeah. 8-5 is
The
good.
coach in you stays true, Melissa, as they decide to start hitting.
Yeah, this is a really good call. It's just time to start bailing. That's fine. You have lots more time.
Yeah, this is the 4th end.
Yep.
No.
Go.
Trying to get that one all the way out.
More.
But again, just that little bit off and unable to remove it.
Now, I feel like they called an 8-5, which is a very firm hit, and I'm not sure that that was an 8-5 by the time it reached the far end. You need some action. You're trying to move 2 stones, so you do need some action on the rocks. So it looks like Switzerland lies too.
Also dahinter würde ich nicht.
Okay.
Also es ist, finde ich, müssen wir vorher schauen und dann geben wir ihnen einfach den Weg.
Okay,
Oder?
gut.
Also ich glaube, ich würde den Nase nehmen. Wenn sie da hinten geht, dann nehmen wir den. Und wenn sie dort hinten geht, können wir sie immer am Schluss. Also ich glaube, sie muss nachher etwas knallen.
Okay.
Also sie wird ziemlich sicher hinten gehen. Aber
Wenn wir so gehen, dass wir noch so eine Drittel noch offen sind.
Gut. Okay. Nehmen den. Okay. So. Ja. Aussen. Ja. So. Ja.
Look like they talked about a draw. Even peeling that one out's not the end of the world.
Okay. Haben wir noch nie gespielt.
I definitely like the hit better than the draw for Switzerland. If you ever draw towards that guard and slip behind the tee line, you've given the opportunity or the advantage back to USA. So this is a good call. You have to think about it. Switzerland's up 2 without in the 4th.
Nasen eigentlich. Eben, gell?
Ja, gut.
Ja.
You know, they'd love to hit and stick, but really, as you say, Luke, hit and roll out is totally fine. You don't need a point right now.
Genau, zack.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Yep. Whoa.
This looks good.
Okay.
Okay, gut.
Yeah, able to make that hit, roll off to the side.
Gut. Schön. Okay, sure.
If you like.
I like that.
Okay. What was mine? 5?
From our vantage point, Luke, just looking at the screen right now, I'm just wondering if you nose that yellow one, the top
Yeah,
one,
this is where I had Tara.
is the triple
Okay.
there at all.
But
That looks
It's hard to
safer.
see it without the overhead, but
It's a 4 or 5.
it would be very close to making the triple.
Yeah, the other thought is draw behind those 2 because of the stagger also.
And I think they kind of looked at that briefly, but if you do make the come around draw, those yellow ones, there's maybe a short run for Team Switzerland. So
Yep.
Line.
for 1 minute they were bailing, they're now going back on the offensive, trying to get one fully buried, and they're doing this because there's nothing in the forfeit area. So they feel like there's still room for them to potentially generate a deuce.
Full 8 foot.
Just hoping for this one to stop for Nina Roth. Does.
3-5, you guys.
but it is deep and it's going to be open and available.
Sie hat aussen hier Eis gehabt. Ich habe das Gefühl, wir können ein bisschen mehr geben.
Ein bisschen mehr finde ich auch, ja.
I don't necessarily.
Ein bisschen weniger noch, ein bisschen. Ja.
Well, do I? I don't necessarily know if I disagree with the shot, the draw, but
Also wir sind schon.
what I tend to not like is you go defensive, offensive, defensive, offensive in one end, right? You're changing your mind all the way through, and I think they had convinced themselves that they wanted to get out of this end, and so they, by the overhead, you can almost see that the triple was there.
Did they switch because they didn't make that first double?
Potentially, it's hard to know. You know, and I fully don't disagree with the shot because there was still a chance to generate your deuce.
85% for Alina Petz this week. And that's through 13 round robin games.
Oh, she has had an amazing week. The Swiss team has been in the #1 position at percentages, as we've mentioned, from lead right down to fourth rock thrower.
Looks like they are 1-2. I think they're out counting that top 8-foot stone.
I believe you're right.
Nein, sie kann nur, sie spielt den Freeze, sie muss.
Tough for Switzerland to find a good place to put that one. They probably would have liked it a stone or two up in the 8-foot area so that this freeze wasn't available to the United States.
All right, so Nina's was a 3-5. Hers was a 14-1. 14, so. Okay. This path is really nice. Yeah, I think I like it. That's like a 4-2. Okay. You got it.
So they have to be on the corner.
They do, yeah. If you come to the nose, I don't think you'll be shot. So just a slight angle on the center line side. And it looks like they're talking about a 14-1 from hog to hog.
78%, so big difference between the overall numbers. But again, as we said with their round robin records, you throw them out in
Ich finde es mega gut. Ja, sehr gut. Okay.
Die Linie und ich genau gespielt vorher.
Ja, die Linie hat Tester gespielt, genau.
Ja. Gut. 3. 3, ja, da.
Sogar wenn der Beisser 12 ist, ist auch
3 bis 12, ja, dann würde ich 4 noch spielen. Ist das gut?
Nein, kann nicht, oder? Darf sogar beißen.
4.
Well, Switzerland's going to try and close in that area of the scoring area, make
Ja,
the
92.
shot tough. I don't think they want to leave a hit. I think they want to try and force it to draw a tough path.
I totally agree. So if they put this one almost on the center line, actually,
She's ace.
I would bring it into the ring, so I would bring it top 12, top 8.
Van Appie stop.
I mean, short isn't the tolerance for this is definitely short.
Fest.
Just make the draw as difficult as you can on the United States.
Moet nog liever liever.
Okay.
Okay, so.
Ah, sorry.
Okay.
Well, they were thinking that. They didn't want to come too deep and give it out, I think was definitely the way they were leaning for Alina.
Either that, yeah, or this.
And that's fair, right? You know you want US to have to draw now against 2. So Alina just being very, very careful on where to put that rock, and just comes up maybe about 6 feet light. You just think if that one's, you know,
Yeah.
top 12,
I think 4-1. Yeah.
I'm not sure how US scores easily.
That's probably close.
Yep.
You got it, Tom. Stay close for line. Got some navigating to do.
Well, last stone here of the 4th, important. Try and make this draw. Facing a couple.
So she was a couple feet heavy on her last one, so it is a completely different path.
Line's good.
Probably looking for about 14-2, maybe 14-3 by what we've heard.
Well done.
Line's good.
That should be super
Right to
close.
Well, they like the number. They like it through the
There
port.
it is.
Piece of the forefoot.
And they get it to the forefoot.
Excellent.
Well managed by Team USA. Get their single point. Still trail, but it's just by 1. 3-2. So we played 4 ends of this semifinal.
It's easy to judge. Good throw. Nicely done. Okay. Oh, we have one more back. Throw your broom. Just.
Da ging vi ging.
Not very positive. Line's nice.
End number 5.
Just the 2. Okay, all the way then.
This
Yep,
semifinal.
keep it straight.
Switzerland, the top seed coming in. 1 loss in round robin play. Taking on Team USA, who won the 4 versus 5 qualification game earlier today over Denmark.
Good 7-6.
Tabitha Peterson made a nice draw like she just did to win that game. Made a nice draw. And that's the shot that you need to make as a skip. It's not set up. You have the shot you have to make. Keeps them in this game.
Definitely. And a huge shot for Tabitha, right? Because she was, as we said, 3 feet heavy on her first draw. Again, different path. But to bounce back and make that draw against 2 to the forefoot and navigate a port to boot, that's a huge shot. So well done for the US.
Ja, ja, ja. Sorry. Ja. Perfekt. Weißer Button ist først. Jeg vil nei plass inn. Schön. Schön steil.
Well, it was a good start by the Team USA, but it seems maybe a little momentum going to the Swiss side these last couple ends.
I would agree with that. Like Switzerland really, other than maybe a couple of half shots, I think maybe by Silvana, I think she cracked a guard and maybe missed a shot here or there. You know, Switzerland's been playing super well, and against a team like Switzerland, you have to bring your A game. There's no doubt about it, right? You do have to play your best against them. And with a 1-point advantage and the hammer for Switzerland now, they're not gonna let up.
Little one.
These first 4 stones so important to keep pace with Switzerland, knowing the ability on the back end, especially those last stones. So it's crucial. You see that one stops, so it can't be removed in that free guard zone area. Mentioned it before, Switzerland's dominance in the way their strength in the women's game. USA has had their struggles a little bit. They've had peaks and valleys, but it's been a while since they've been in. It's been 2006 was the last time they were in a championship game at the World Women's. And they only have 1 title to their country's name on the women's side, and that was Deb McCormick in 2003. Well placed for those 2 for Barbazat.
Oh, 2 great shots there.
I'm thinking either here or here. Do you have all of it?
No, not quite. I think 9.
Okay.
Is it
I like
just
it.
hair high?
Yeah. You got it.
Bit of an interesting scenario here, Luke. Your lead through that rock. I know it was supposed to come into the rings, but it is just short of the rings. You probably can use it later in the end if you needed to. I would be very tempted maybe to actually have come around the other way and just froze to those yellow ones or move them back a bit. But I mean, it's a fantastic shot, don't get me wrong. But you know, you put it there, you may need it later in the end.
Now the peel comes. If you play with stones in, you might have to force them into the house. But Becca Hamilton comes up with that and actually sticks that one nicely in behind cover.
And that's a terrific shot.
Goed.
Good result for sure.
Ja. Kom. Mooi.
Well, won't get him. Actually kills that one in the rings.
Okay, sorry, Liang.
No double peel, but still leaves the guard.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, Liang.
Yeah, they're trying to run it more on the angle there and try and get that red one that was just outside the rings.
Okay, sorry, Liang.
Again, because they see that as being the danger rock.
Sorry, do you like coming around ours instead, or is that?
I think that's kind of far out there.
Okay.
I like this call, even though that yellow stone is really, really high. If you can just squeeze by it, you could actually probably overbury it behind the yellow and red stood guards.
Hard, Tara. Hard, you guys. Come on, every bit. Every bit.
I think this one's a bit light.
Yep. Stay on it. Yep.
Oh, they actually touched that guard. Leave another one out in front.
6-3. Good scrub.
Ja.
Wenn wir hinter der Rot von denen.
Ja, ich glaube auch, weil sonst kommt sie nachher so.
Ich glaube, sie kommt sonst so dran.
Also da meinst du?
Ja, genau.
Ja.
Beide Garten aufmachen, findest
Also,
du nicht gut.
Morgen da.
Beide Garten aufmachen findest du nicht gut, hä? Beide Garten aufmachen findest du nicht gut. Finde ich auch gut, ja.
Okay.
Ich glaube, die sind einfach, sie kommt immer her, habe ich das Gefühl.
Ich finde es im Fall fast besser, da haben wir auch den Nuller noch auf, oder?
Der Maut.
Okay. Gut, den hast du.
Yeah, long discussion. Was it just which way you're playing the peel?
No, they actually considered coming in, and there's 3 guards out front. At some point, you have to make the decision whether you can keep peeling or try and maybe turn the tables and go a little bit more on the offensive. I think it's still on with second stones. You might as well give it one more chance here with the double peel, and that's a fantastic shot.
Tip top.
So opens up that 4-foot.
All right. What do you think? 4-3? Do you like this, or do you like?
I think it's best.
Switzerland's in complete control at the moment, right? They have the 1-point lead and the hammer here in 5. So they don't need to take a lot of chance. Not that that was a big chance to throw that draw, but great double peel there made.
Pull back a little bit.
I don't mind. I like
But it
it.
doesn't seem that bad. 7-6. Yeah, Becca clean. 7-8. Okay.
Lots of room here, curls.
It's coming down.
Yeah, it's
Only
starting
you,
to
only
move.
you.
Can you finish it, Beck?
14-1.
Even if it's behind.
Yeah, I think go.
Yep. Let's
Let's see
bury
the
it.
amount of room past.
Come on.
They get by that stone trying to work it over.
More. Nice judge, you guys.
Good job, guys.
Just get that late finish is important, so that's why they didn't want to go, because they felt they were a bit heavy.
Yeah, they waited for it to make the break and also put the brakes on, so that was a very good shot by Nina.
Ich würde hier rollen, ja.
Ja.
Gut, 10,5. Gut.
Tip top, da haben wir ja schon ein bisschen gespielt.
Ein bisschen mehr zum Wicken, ja.
Sehr gut, das gut.
First thought after that was play the run back, but that's other teams may have preference. This is interesting to roll the shooter on.
That's exactly what they're doing there. They've elected to play just a, hack to board kind of weight.
10,5. Yep.
Remove the top one and roll their shooter behind one of their yellow guards. Tough shot, but a great call. The last thing USA wants to do here, right, is give up 2. So if you make this shot
Schön.
perfectly, then you're setting yourself up for potential deuce.
Hat noch reingetragen.
That rolls another 3 feet. It's absolutely perfect. They actually could have been on that a lot earlier, just a missed call.
Nur beißen.
Ist gut. Schön.
So US forced to hit it, trying to make sure they stick around to lie 2.
Yep. Clean. Yep. Clean. Yep. Hard. Yep. Stay. Good. Great.
Right on the nose to lie 2.
USA would be very happy if they could force Switzerland to have to take a single here.
you. Nice work.
Wie lang?
Genau.
Okay. Ja. Die Länge von
Good hair,
ist
Judge.
10,2 gewesen, also sehr gut.
14 on your first one. And
I think Sylvana's playing the hit and the big roll. Trying to get under cover.
Warte, 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 spreiten. Oran bleiben. Ja. Wow. Ja.
Gleich.
Wow.
Das gleiche vorhin.
Ja.
Trying to wait, get that right point of when does it make its break. Like the hit.
Fest, 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 fest.
I just didn't get on it quite soon enough. It's so tough on that center line.
It really is, and you know that soft weight again. We talked about this actually already. I think maybe in the first or second end. With that softer weight, you have to sweep it earlier. You can still hit probably a third of it, and it'll still stick in the rings because it it has a long way to roll. Just wanting to be a little bit more aggressive maybe on that roll.
Where do you want the shooter to go? Your way. Okay, sounds good. Like lots you can hold the other side of the 4 foot. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yep.
Let's go. 9-5.
Well, that hit and stick on the top of the 12-foot has the U.S. in a position to get the force. Now it's up to Tabitha and needs to execute her first.
9-5. 9. Yep. 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 Hard. Hard. All the way. Come on. All the way. Other way. Whoa.
There's the cheerleader.
Clean. Clean. Clean.
Little flop to here. That's good.
I'll change to go the other way.
Nice shot. Good call, Neen.
Just started.
9.
Is that a 9?
9. 9-1.
Sweet.
Really wanted to just make sure they stuck around.
For sure, that was job number one. You can get fancy with the roll all you want, but number one was to stick around. And I don't think you want to fully bury it either, because you don't want to give switching the option for an easier double, right? You want them to hit the one that shot rock. Not sure they can get the hit and roll behind. They might be able to. It looks like with the weight, where that broom is, the weight they're calling. Nice soft weight again. They might be able to get the hit and flop behind. I think that's what they're going to try.
Noch nicht. Wow, wow. Hij moet. Ja, anders. Best. Wow, wow. Esther. Esther.
Come, go hard.
Well, they're trying to get that roll, and look at that, Alina Pets.
Perfect. Perfecte Länge.
What a shot.
Every time you think it's not possible to make that roll,
Sehr good. Sehr.
it seems to be Alina that throws it, and she makes the perfect shot.
That's incredible. Perfect weight, perfect line call. Look at that.
Really uses that sweeping to be able to sweep for the curl late. I see with Neuenschwander get on it. And that run back now takes playing the run back takes the force away even if you make this.
That's right.
I want to try and run it and stick this one in behind.
Atta girl.
We'll roll that one off. I don't think it's in the rings.
I don't either.
And the way Alina ran down the ice, I think it is out as well.
Zentimeter draussen ist er.
Ja,
Also
gut.
sonst.
Halbe Meter draus.
We'll look to bank maybe a couple seconds on that one to throw this through. So the roll was good enough for Alina in Switzerland to get a blank out of it.
That's how incredible that first shot of Alina's was.
So Nina Roth taking a look. But it is the blank. It's out of the rings. And we'll leave it a 1-point game. We're halfway through semifinal number 1. Switzerland leading USA 3-2.
It's super squeaky out here today.
You got everybody?
Yeah.
second end of the semifinal. And Switzerland went aggressive early, and a double by Alina Petz left this opportunity just to cut the score down.
Well, this is the hit for 2 for USA. They had that opportunity in this second end to hit. And, you know, this is one of those ones, Luke, you look back on, you go, I hope this doesn't come back to bite me, right? This is a huge, huge second point for the U.S. And unfortunately for Tabitha Peterson, just hits and rolls out and only gets the 1.
Sorry, guys.
Well, it was a great start, the first 2 ends, 1-1 after 2, but the U.S. only getting 1 is a mistake. We'll see if it proves as right back in the third, though. Double, leaves a double back for Switzerland to score 2.
Yeah, Tabitha made a great double on her shot, and now this is an opportunity for Alina Petz to make a double right back and put that very important deuce on the board in the third end.
And the way Alina is feeling it throughout the week, and is just in one of those frame of minds that everything's going to be made, and there's a double to score the first deuce of the game. The U.S. couldn't really get much going in 4. You see a lot of yellow in there, a couple draws deep,
Stay close for line.
and a tough draw now for Tabitha Peterson to keep them in this game.
It is, and as we mentioned, she did go a little deep on her first one, but this is a huge bounce back for Tabitha to try and get to the 4-foot. Navigated kind of a close port, but there is some room there, and the sweepers made no mistake, managed it beautifully.
6. Line's good.
Line's
You
good.
have a clear path.
7, 8.
Right
Well
to
done.
tee. Line's good.
And she puts it right in the 4-foot for her single point.
Right to
Terrific
tee.
shot.
Yeah, well judged by the front end there to put it in the 4-foot. Cuts into that lead, so 3-2 halfway through this first semifinal. USA is here because they beat Denmark in the 4 versus 5 qualification game. Sweden will play RCF in the other semifinal, and then the 2 winners will play for gold tomorrow afternoon. The 2 losers will play for bronze tomorrow morning.
That's a great plan, Tab. Thank you.
I like it a lot.
Oh, I missed. I'll go pick that up.
Yeah, that's gross.
A minute 15.
Okay.
Und dann kommst du aber nicht durchs Dörrli hingen.
Well, 5 ends through this semifinal. 3-2 Switzerland leading the U.S. Overall percentage, Switzerland 87 to 78%, as well as draw percentage out-curling the U.S. 91 to 81%, and in hit percent as well. 76 for the U.S., 84 for Switzerland. A 1-point game. Switzerland has the hammer starting the second half.
Let's tap. You got it, Tara. Go, go, go. Go, go. Go, go.
Shot back.
Well, the Winsport Arena, the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2021. Luke Coley alongside Melissa Saligo. Just 1 game out on the ice. We determine who will be the first team into the gold medal game tomorrow.
Pretty good.
USA hasn't been since 2006. Their lone world title coming back in 2003. Deb McCormick and counterpart who's done commentary with me, and Swiss Helm, a member of that team, winning in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. That was back when the men's and women's were at the same venue at the same time. Here it's the same venue, but about a month between. So we see Melanie Barber's at 93%.
What a game Melanie is having. She's just been so consistent all week, and again bringing those strong numbers today.
Voor een 4 is schon selber mega neig. Voor een 4 is het. Und auch sauber gelopen. Eigentlich perfekt.
Sehr schön.
So, super, Meli.
Gut gesehen.
Super Stein.
Ritz auch.
Well, sometimes you see that first one come deep, especially in N6 because of the 5th end break.
Gut.
Good placement of the guard. Good come around. Right into it, as you see.
93.
80% for Tara Peterson.
4-5. Line's pretty good. It's running.
Seems
Line's
nice.
okay. Just to it. It's got a curl. Okay,
It's nice.
Line's
Turn
good.
move now.
Line's
Do it.
good now.
Gotta
Line's good
move.
now. Right on it. Keep it straight. Right on it. Yep.
This looks pretty good. They're trying to get right to the face of that yellow Swiss
Very nice.
stone. Well done by Tara.
14.
girl.
Good, you guys.
Great pair.
Nicely done.
Komm, wenn du ein bisschen tappst, wärst du perfekt.
Also,
Genau gleich.
recht ähnlich, oder?
Vor einer Vierlänge, ja.
Finger ein bisschen kürzer.
Finden, ich habe mega komische Zeit. Finden, hinten 4. Stehe
Oh.
gut, hinten 4.
Nein.
Ja.
Hinten 4. Streit.
Nein, er läuft gerade.
Hinten 4.
Hinten 8, hinten 4.
Zieh, 4. Zieh, dann zieh. Hinten 8, ja. Zieh.
Looks like plan B, maybe?
And goes right around.
Okay.
Flirted with touching that one, but they get around.
Go back all the way there. That was a 14.
I think you jinxed her.
The commentator jinx.
I think right to the back one.
Yeah.
Back 4.
That was a 3-9.
But they made that call and it almost seemed like it was, again, a couple times in the game where it's late and you miss that, but they still were able to hold it and get by.
Yeah, good communication there by the brushers. Just let
4.
Silvana know that it might have been a bit heavy, so
Gotta be 8.
made the call 3/4 of the way down.
Yep.
Becca Hamilton, a few half shots in the game. Lower numbers, it's just 73.
Yep.
We'll need a strong second half if the U.S. wants to try and come back in this game.
Hurry, Nina. 7-8. Whoa, 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 whoa,
Yep.
whoa. Tara, I'll take it.
And Becca's well aware of that. She made the comment in
Come
the
on, let's go.
in the break
Go, go,
that
go,
she
go, go.
will try and put some better numbers on the board. And there's a good start. That's a fantastic shot.
Kick it.
Klar, war.
Nur aufmachen ist gut. Ja.
So with the hammer, let's peel that guard as soon as possible for Esther Neuenschwander, 90%.
Gut. Gut. Schön, Esther, gut. Gut.
The Swiss team has had a lot of success in a short amount of time for this foursome. They didn't actually, Silvana was at the Olympics in 2018, but Esther was with her at third. They had a different front end. Melanie Barbazet comes in at lead. You bring Alina Pets to throw fourth stones. You don't see a lot of teams gel that quickly. They go win a world championship their first year.
Running right now.
That's just incredible. And sometimes when it's right, right? You just put everything together at the right time.
All right, let's go. Come on.
Terry, you gotta get it to center.
Come on.
Come on.
Every bit.
Hurry.
Go. Finish, Tara.
Go, 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 go. A little more.
Look
Yep.
at that brushing.
Tara earned that one. Wow.
Really good too.
Don't know if she let up at all.
She didn't.
Got the trick.
You saw Nina kind of go in that backward sweep that we've seen
Kannst putzen, glaube ich.
Brad Thiessen do, just to help with keep the path.
Gut, Esther. Super gespielt.
Playing quick doesn't even allow Tara a chance to catch her breath down at the other end.
You're right.
Whereas this U.S. team, we
Nice three
talked
again.
about Switzerland really joining forces quickly, having success. The U.S. team's played in chunks together in different periods. They've been, obviously, with Tara and Tabitha being sisters, playing a lot together. Nina and Tabitha, and then Becca Hamilton. But now as a unit, they're really showing the success of all those years together.
Hold on. 2.5.
A little tight.
Hold on. It's a little
Nina's
light.
putting together a good game,
Line's good now.
85%.
2. 2.5.
And I think another good point there, Luke, and
Maybe.
you know, a point for Nina too, right? Like as a skip, sometimes you're like, you didn't play last year, as we mentioned. She had her baby, but you come back and you're like, I want to skip again. But she found her place at third. She's playing great, throwing some good numbers today. And you have to just, as I said earlier, you have to embrace your position, and she's done a great job of that.
Yeah, you change that role. You look at it a different perspective. You can still see that skip in her when she's talking with, and the third even in Tabitha talking, how they go back and forth in their conversations. Well, Savannah Tiranzoni, low numbers at 68%. There's a lot of half shots, especially early in those first couple ends. And they're happy just peeling to see who will make the move first in this 6th end.
One more? Do you like one more?
I think so.
Let's go, Nate.
Looks like Switzerland is line shot rock. So USA just trying to decide when to make the move.
So they say one more. Does Switzerland go around, or are they going to peel again?
I would think that they're going to peel again. A
Little
small
more room right now.
victory for USA here would be to force
Similar.
Switzerland to get a single point.
Okay.
They're not necessarily trying to steal. I mean, obviously a steal is never a bad thing, but they're trying to force Switzerland to have to take a single.
Well, it's fine.
Nice.
Good. Nice, Nate.
This one tighter. Does it entice Switzerland?
She's wondering when we address. So it's like we go in there.
Switch. Finde es gut, ja.
Sie macht, wir müssen einfach schauen, dass sie nicht in dem, dass wir nicht im Weg sind, oder? Das ist nachher ein
Gut, so
mit
weit
drin.
runterrollen wir ja nicht, das ist gar nicht möglich, oder?
Ja.
Also du kannst sagen, Tiri, ist ja für mich okay, wenn wir nur aufmachen.
Also es wäre wahrscheinlich schon gut, wenn wir würden liegen bleiben, oder?
Ja.
Ja.
So.
Ja.
Wie schnell?
So try and hit and roll in. What if you did move it, come around? Would you play the freeze on the back one? Would that be the play?
10,5.
If you were to come in, you definitely would play
Okay.
the come around freeze. The only thing is, because of where that red rock is, if you look at it, it's back 4. So you put a rock on top of it. There's room for one more rock, and that would be the USA rock. So that's not what Switzerland wants to do. That means there's no more room to score if you're right on the button. So this is a good call. You can either just peel this right off, but we know Switzerland likes this kind of shot. They play that softer weight, hit the red one, and try and roll the shooter onto the rings. It makes USA have to think a little bit more as to watching those yellow rocks pile up in the rings.
And gives them something off the side if need be later in the end.
That's
So
just
like
such
right
a
now they
terrific
just have
shot.
this for 2. Or the enough for a bunch. Right. If I come here, does that make it harder on her? Or if we come this way?
I'm wondering if we come here.
That's
'cause
what
then if
needs
they play
yeah.
any run at this, they're losing their yellow too.
Yeah. Just bury a corner.
Here,
I
they're
mean,
not-
bury as much as we can, but
I
bury
think
a
this
corner.
makes the blast easier. This
Yeah.
way.
Going this way.
yeah, kind of like burying a corner this way.
This one offers the
It was a hair heavy. Coming down here is not awful,
Okay.
but just a piece is good.
Yeah, I like that. So right here?
Yep.
Or 2?
Bury enough to make the double hard.
She
too.
threw this
Right.
It's the
last
same
end.
as,
Yeah.
and
It was
she
a
was a
14.
14.
Yep.
So I might have something there. Okay.
We hear a lot of the whispering. Is normally you don't hear that, but with obviously in the bubble here, there's no crowd, so everything can be heard. Like you can probably hear a pin drop in the building at times. A lot of whispering with Tabitha, but you don't want to see it. Maybe we have this
14.
if they don't see it, but both teams
That was what your last foul
very
was.
observant and
This way.
aware of the
Yeah, in
situation.
the fourth end.
Yeah, USA definitely whispering because they do know that Switzerland can
this is
speak
more-
English, right? So they can hear it, whereas
Yeah, I think so.
you know Switzerland does have the advantage
You got it, Tom.
of USA not being able to understand what they're saying. It's a pretty big shot here for Tabitha. They're gonna try and come around Luke and just partially bury bury behind those 2 rocks that are just sitting top 4, top 8.
Line's okay.
5.
Yep. Hard, guys. Hard. Line's really good. Come on. Line's really good. Come on.
She looks like she pushed out pretty hard on that, but she must have pulled back a bit because they're saying it's light.
Rail big scrub all the way.
Rub up.
Just
That's
not
good.
quite enough.
Sweep, you guys.
Very nice.
What a sweep to get it to that point.
No kidding.
4-7.
They didn't take a breath. They brushed that the whole way.
Macht sie nachher ein bisschen überwicken sogar, dann geht sie nochmal rundum.
Wahrscheinlich macht sie dann nicht den Nase, aber dann sollte der da sticken, oder?
Dann macht sie wahrscheinlich, probiert sie den Triple. So,
Ja,
Leicht
also,
raus.
ich glaube, wir haben gar
Nein,
keine
dann
andere
macht sie
Wahl,
den.
oder?
ja, ich glaube es, ja.
Ausser du willst, das bringt ja nichts an, oder?
Ich glaube es nicht, nein.
Dann macht es
der
den
Nase?
Take halt einfacher. Nase.
10,5. Genau, Nase wäre recht gut, oder?
Ja.
10,5 Nase.
Ja,
Glaube ich okay.
finde es gut, ja, ist gut.
Kann ich ein bisschen mehr haben noch? Gell? Ja. 10,5.
I think they're playing the nose hit perhaps on the rock that was just thrown by USA.
10,5, 11.
Just stay out in front, and
10,5.
Alina at 97 on this game.
Go, Esther. Oh, Miki,
I want to try and hold this on the nose. Well, gets a little roll in front.
Gut so.
Don't think it's an awful result.
Gute Länge.
Besser als
But if
vorher.
the US can wrap one with those,
I think the broom is good with the right.
Yeah, I think they wanted to stay right on the nose, as you say, Luke. Just by that creating that bit of an angle now,
7 back.
it does give more of an option for USA to get one buried really well behind there.
All right, just a little bit more. Yeah, you got it, Tab.
So, Tab. Ja, wie gaat het kunnen gaan? Zo ik daarop.
well, there's a bit of an opening. Shot stone right now for Switzerland. They want to try and go to the side of the button. Second crack at this one for Tabitha Peterson.
More line, definitely
Line's
more.
good. T,
Well,
you got some room right
hold
now.
on. Line's good, line's
Line's
good.
really good.
6, 7.
Top
Go,
of the
just
T
a
line.
6.
Starting to curl.
So you hear those numbers 6, 7. That's about T-line top 4.
Hard line. 6. 4, 2. 4, 2, 6. Yep.
They like the weight.
Gotta get it by.
Now does it sit for shot?
Atta girl.
And it goes back button. Great adjustment by Peterson weight-wise.
They just overswept it, I would say, Luke, by about a foot. If that one's on the top of the button, it makes the shot much more difficult on Switzerland. But I think there's potentially room there to tap that for 2.
At least a draw down to it. Get your 1 if you have the line to sweep it for 2.
Muss nur so viel tappen. So.
Well, if you watch where she puts the broom down when she does here.
Ist gut. Ist gut.
Yeah, actually it's pretty buried.
In 4 würde schon
I think this is just a draw for 1.
Ich glaube jetzt 4-1 gehabt für ihn.
Not sure you could have enough carrying weight to move it.
Tappen.
What a fantastic shot by Tabitha Peterson.
Yeah, so forcing the draw to the button. We just saw that one made by Peterson and Alina Petz.
Do you have someone who's curling 97% so far this game throwing this shot? So looking probably for about a 14-2, 14 even.
Whoa, Melli. Länge wird perfekt.
That weight is very close.
Fest, Melli.
Oh,
Well, here they're actually
overcurled.
playing the. Are they trying to tap it to get their 1?
Gut.
I guess that was plan B.
That's very close. I don't know. I think they might throw a stick on that.
I think it's yellow.
Oh, they do say it is 1 yellow, but US gets their force and a needed one. They had to get a force to stay in this one. Switzerland leads 4-2 now after 6 ends of play.
Tschüss, Haas.
Also, die Länge wäre nur vor 14, nicht hinten.
Exekutiv.
Dann hat sie so viel Distanz verloren, weißt du, beim Aufbau.
Ja.
Also,
Ja, ja.
ja, nein, einfach nicht, dass sie verwirrt ist beim nächsten Step.
Ja, ja. Ich glaube, 90 ist wirklich Tee.
Zwischen 4-0 und 4-1 etwas.
Ja, das finde ich gut. Machst 3, hä? Ja. Schön losgelassen.
4 noch gut.
So the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 4-2 is where we sit in the 7th end.
Bis da.
Great force.
Ganz auf
It's a good shot, able to get that single point by Switzerland, but really that one comes down to that shot by Tabitha Peterson, patience through the end, and then making a shot.
Schön, Melli.
It was an absolutely incredible shot by Tabitha, and you think about it, Luke, we were just talking in the break, obviously, and I think for Switzerland they were actually trying to play to the one that Tabitha had just thrown on there first, but you saw maybe about I don't know, just before the hog line, they switched sweepers, right, for more curl. But you're looking at 14 seconds hog to hog for T-line weight. They threw a 13-8, and that moved 3 stones and bumped it enough to get shot stone. That was incredible. Very fortunate for Switzerland, but a fantastic shot by Alina Petz.
Line's good. Yep, I think you can bury it. Bury it. A little more.
The tight center, USA comes around. Now we start getting the late stages, 4 ends remaining.
Nina halb, oder? Hast du gesagt?
I was going to say, Switzerland probably doesn't mind playing aggressive, but a short little run that they're allowed to play because it's their guard.
I would have thought that maybe Melanie was asked to bring her first one in the rings, and it does come up short, so it does give her the option of playing this short run, as you say, in the 5-rock rule.
Hold this one.
And hit your own rock in that free guard zone.
Schön, Melli. Once it starts to curl, it's gonna die.
So a 2-point game. US with the hammer. Right now, 2 hammers each.
6.
If you take advantage, if you score with it.
Hey, hold on. Tons of room.
How hard does US maybe get a blank? We get 2-to-1 hammers. We have the hammer into 8. All things the teams will be thinking about and know in their mind.
6. Yep, keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Yes, I mean, as we know, analytics has become a big thing in curling for sure, and
More. 4-3.
you know, for USA in the 7th end might not be, you know, it should be in their thought process somewhere that if they were to blank this end, get 2 and 8, force a 9, get 2 and 10,
Okay.
there's your win that way. But
Einsetzen mal, ja.
I can guarantee that Switzerland isn't going to give it to them that easy.
Läuft schön. Ja, ja.
They would love to force US to have to take a single here in 7. Get that control back.
And I wonder if that decision of where you're at in the end of that changed the game plan. Like at first a hit was called, and then they decided to play this freeze.
Hinga 4 immer noch. Ist hinga 4.
And I honestly think they played the hit on the previous rock simply because I think the first one should have been in the rings.
This one right around everything.
Okay, Esther.
And deep in the rings for Esther Neuenschwander.
Ah, ist nicht okay. Sorry.
Yeah, okay. Draw to the open.
It's a bit of an uncharacteristic miss
Is it
by
possible
Esther.
to go the other side so they don't have a double?
No.
I mean,
Honestly,
yes,
I
but we're
kind of
running.
like this way. That makes, it's going to run there for so long.
I know, but to be even, we have to be up here, and then we just give them a hit and roll. Unless you want to be back here, which is probably fine.
I mean, they'll have the hit and roll there to be
Yeah.
on top of us.
They've
Yeah.
got over half a rock.
Yeah. Think of like this.
All the way back 8?
Yep.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
14.
Yeah.
There's actually 3 options here. They could go to either side.
Careful.
They could actually
guys.
come around that yellow guard again, half bury it.
Where are we?
But it is fairly tight to the ring, so
7.
Switzerland would probably take on the short run if that were the case.
Back. We gotta be back. 3-7. Do you want me to curl it? Right here.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
They want to go, they want to lie 2, they want to take this one deeper.
Perfect. That's good.
Atta girl.
Really nice, Beck. Nice manage, you guys. Very nice. Nice shot.
Sticks around, lies 1, 2.
Ja.
Very nice. That's sweet, mean.
Ja. Gut. Schöne Boot. Ist gut? Ja, ja. ja, ja. Komm! Fest! So, du hast noch, komm! Komm, du hast noch, Patsy!
Trying to get it by the yellow guard.
Well, avoid the jam.
Okay.
Don't get the big roll they're hoping for.
Gut gewischt.
9-5.
Great brushing.
Okay.
That was very close to that guard.
Just a little up.
Watch the double. Oh. Yep. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Good.
Atta girl.
A little roll to the center.
9-2.
We've seen great communication both sides in this one. Front end to from the thrower to the front end, the sweepers to the person calling line in the house.
So Switzerland's looking for that hit and roll again in front of the other red stone, but they need to avoid the jam.
Zehn. Okay, warte.
Sicher 10.
Meli. Achtung, wow. Fest, fest. Fest, Meli, ja. Fest. Fest. Fest, 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 fest.
Trying to get this to curl, want to avoid jamming on their back one.
I think we can nose it.
Nose would probably outcount that
Yeah,
back one.
Just 9-5 or 10?
I like 9-5. Let's go, Neen.
They could roll a little bit towards that yellow guard. Just increase the degree of difficulty for Switzerland by just a little bit.
9-7. Neen.
Yep.
But nose hit here is good as long as your second shot.
Yep.
Yep.
Whoa, whoa.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yep. Double.
Now they change. Do they clip the back one? They don't, but they do
that?
sit just 1-2. It is the U.S.
break.
have the hammer in
Nice
this seventh end.
9-7.
That was a nice call. They were going for the double. They obviously didn't need the double.
Sie geht nachher auch hindern. Wir können auch noch mal nassen. Und nachher ist sie nicht mehr besser. Weißt du, dann haben wir da nachher einen für so. Ja. Ich glaube, oder? Ist gut. Nassen. Ja. Der andere wäre. Ja, nein,
Nein, ist
nassen.
gut, komm.
Nassen.
Ja, komm, ein bisschen kürzer, das gleiche Eis, ja?
Ja.
Nase ist gut.
You just feel the tension. I know it's open hits, but you can feel the tension. I know I'm a little stressed too because the first mistake in with the last 5, 6 rocks coming here could mean the difference between a force, a steal, or giving up 2, and that would be huge in this end.
Well, it's a 2-point Switzerland lead in this seventh end.
Sehr gut. 10,5 immer noch.
Savannah struggling in that first half of the game, but really trying to put those numbers up. Makes no mistake.
Okay.
Great shot.
Okay.
Yeah, avoids that jam, so it's still the U.S. line 1.
Länge ist gut jetzt, 10-3.
Yeah. I think we have to do this.
Yeah, right around.
I think I like it higher though, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're okay with this way?
This?
I think
Yeah.
it's easier.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, even Neen, if you're here, that's fine.
So like a 14.
But I think I like this.
14 was
Yeah.
the T.
Okay.
Top score, she's saying.
Yep.
I think 4-2, 4-3 over here.
Yeah, I think so too. You got it.
So with that roll from Silvana and Team Switzerland, there's not really much of an option now for USA. They have to play the draw
Okay.
in order to be able to lie 2 at the end of this shot.
Yeah, it's, can we go down to the back one?
It's got a curl. Yeah, it's got a curl. You
They
gotta
talked
go.
about putting this
Everybody.
top
Coming
4.
down.
They
Stay
said
with
it's
it,
okay to
guys.
go to the
We
back
gotta
one.
go.
I don't think you really do
Wait,
want to go to
wait,
the back
At
one.
this point, we gotta go all the way to it.
We gotta go.
You don't want to give Switzerland the opportunity to freeze to it and take the end away from you.
Nice job. That's fine. 3-7.
3-7.
They also worried about a double because of Switzerland's ability to make these hits.
So it ends up in a pretty good position, but like I say, it does give Switzerland now a small advantage. They can play the draw to the forfeit that USA just tried to play. They can freeze to the red one that was just thrown by USA, and it'll eliminate that stone on the left-hand side.
Sind beide weg, aber
Ja. Okay, machen bis hinten. Ist gut.
So I would say small advantage right now to Switzerland.
einfach so wie der Drag ist. So wie aufs Dolly, ja. Ja, das ist gut so.
And again, Alina Petz has not missed much this game.
You said it, Melissa. It's that little error. What's going to be the difference in the 7th end?
Wenn er nachher vorne 4 ist, aber die Linie gut ist, ist auch
Voll. Ja, voll.
And it's hard to say that's an error, right? Like she makes the draw to the back of the house, but it could have been better. It could have been a top 4.
Well, Lena's only 83% on her draws
Oh, okay.
compared to 94 on her takeouts in this game.
Well, I have a feeling this one is going to be close. Would love to bury this partially top 4.
Bis dran an werden gekommen. Was sind der?
Noch nicht
Oh, okay, dann muss er Görler. Fest, Meli. Fest, fest. Fest, komm. Fest.
Trying to take it in around their own.
Gut. Schöner Stein.
Maybe a sliver available.
What a terrific shot. Great brush by that front end.
Gut so.
Again, these teams so important, the communication to manage the stones because of the way the sweeping is going to sweep with the curl or hold the line.
I think I like just hack.
Okay.
These are running just like a hair straighter. You know what I mean? Like the draws are just kind of hanging.
Yeah.
Like that.
What kind of weight?
Hack?
So I would say that you could see what, Luke, maybe an inch of that stone?
Yeah, that's probably a fair amount to.
Yeah.
Okay, I like this.
So they're going to try and make a play on it. They're going to throw half
I
weight.
agree. That sounds great.
Probably even if you move it and roll away, you bring the other ones into play.
Yeah, if you're going to move it, for sure, you want to move it back to the 12-foot minimum. You definitely want your reds to outcount that Yellowstone. That was just such an amazing shot by Alina Petz. This is a tough shot for Tabitha Peterson now. Again, if she can move it, she'll keep her multiple point end alive here.
11-5. Back. Too close. Yep.
Well, you see, this one has a lot of work to do to get to the center line.
It's trying. Becca's trying.
Putting everything into it. Do they have any of it? They'll chip it back. And push it to the other side of the 4-foot.
That's better.
And the result obviously wasn't what they wanted, but the amount of sweep on that by Becca Hamilton to get it that far.
Yeah, that was a great sweep by Becca. And weight was pretty close, I would say.
Das ist nicht so gut, oder?
Ja, ja.
Wenn er ganz versteckt ist, perfekt.
Wir gehen hinten. Eigentlich gleich wie vorher, vor Höhe, oder?
Ganz versteckt muss er sein. Auch wenn er da hinten wäre.
Gut. So wie vorher, vor Höhe, oder?
I think Alina can throw the exact same shot on this one that she did on her first.
Ganz 4.
Top button.
Ja. Den haben wir.
Ist das weniger Eis als vorher?
Ja.
Glaube es, oder?
Ja.
Immer normal, wie aufs Dolly ist. Ja, so.
Ja, ist gut.
Teams always like it, especially when the player can throw same shot twice.
Bisschen weit
Bisschen kürzer.
Sie finden recht gut.
Oh, warte. Linie hat er noch nicht so gut.
Linie ist gut.
Also Second sind wir immer.
Sicher, ist sicher.
Linie ist gut, Achtung,
Meli,
hä?
Meli.
Linie ist gut, Iri.
Meli, Meli. Kannst Meli.
Well, there's the switch. You gotta get it to curl at the end.
This looks very close. Wow.
Super back.
Again, leaves it just a little bit, almost a teaser. Did they leave, obviously, I think a little bit more open.
I don't think there's. Is there a slash?
Meli, Meli. Kannst Meli.
Yeah, when the weight was close, they didn't want to go too hard because it was already at the button, but
Super back. Super lane.
Let me go see what I can see. I mean, I don't have.
I don't know. That's pretty perfect.
I feel like what I have, it's just jamming straight into it. You know?
What a shot by Alina Pett. Both shots. Absolutely perfect.
Right. 1.5 inches.
Also a half an inch more than the last one.
You think it's there?
Okay.
See what it looks like down there.
I mean,
Otherwise
because
it's
the
back line.
draw things, like, that's no gimme either, I guess.
Right.
They're both hard.
Yeah.
I mean, or we just play like that same weight. Right there.
That's good.
Hit what you can see to try and make the double.
Keep it off that center line.
What?
Keep it off that center line.
You have to really,
No, I said keep it off.
really think about this. So if you throw a lot of weight
let's go.
and
Yeah.
try and hit what you can see and make the double, Tabitha was pretty sure it would straight jam, and it does look like it potentially could straight jam. Or you could throw that hack weight again. You've seen the line, you know the line, and just play a softer weight, tap it back, and get your single. What you don't want to do here is give up a steal of any sort.
So the final stone of the 7th end. Big sweep by Tara Peterson. And will touch the front. And it's a steal of 2. Did what they couldn't do, touch the front one. Just like that, Switzerland. 2 great draws by Alina Petz. And the touch of this one, as much as Tara was trying to hold that one, it touches, and it's 6-2 now after 7.
No, I mean, they're both hard shots.
Zweimal rein.
Zweimal rein. Kannst ja noch sie fragen, was wir machen sollen. Aber ich wäre für zweimal.
Zweimal rein, ich auch, ja.
Ohne 4.
Ja.
Yes.
Noch 5.
Ja.
Genau, 85 müssen es gewinnen.
Well, this first semifinal, we are into the 8th end, the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2021. We're in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And that 7th end was a crucial one. Normally you get into the 8th and it becomes a pivotal end. It is now, but that 7th end was so big and a tough shot left for Tabitha Peterson.
Well, Alina Petz made 2 perfect shots. Like, you couldn't have walked down and placed them any better. But just having a quick look at those numbers there, 93% to 80%. But when you think about your options as a skip,
Take a look, it's kind of
the
rounded.
very first thought
Right here.
that Tabitha had was that she thinks that even if she hits what she can see, it's straight jam. So there's already that thought in her mind. But in such a close game and such a battle going on out there,
5-6.
if you could ever just even get your single, and the only way you could get your single was, and I know they were probably playing for the 3, but it was a really tough 3. But if you, I don't think the risk was worth it. If you play that soft shot, she just played it, she knew the line, and you just tap it back and try and score. Yes, it's a very, very hard shot, but if you get one, this is a totally different game right now.
Yeah, she didn't sound convinced right away and was sort of talked into a little bit, but
ist genau die Line von der Länge.
ends up playing it. Not the result. Switzerland takes it, and again, but Alina Petz just puts the pressure on. You know she's going to be right in the ballpark of making those shots, and she was put it in a spot where it teased and got the USA thinking about it.
Running nice.
Ja, we gotta go.
Starting to
So the US has some work to do now. Down 4, 3 ends to play.
Get it even. Come on.
Work hard, get these guards, and
Dig.
give yourself a chance at
Right
3.
here. Hard. It's got to be more. More. Come on, Neen. More. Right.
Really good CP, guys.
Nice job.
You see the time clocks as well. 10 and 11 minutes, or 3 ends to play. So we'll have to keep moving pretty quickly.
Gut. Okay. Ja, ich würde lieber so.
Both teams do have their timeout left.
Okay, Zahneholz.
So you'll see a lot of teams, Luke. We see USA's elected to go separate their guards by going one on each side. Some teams elect to go on the same side, one short, one long. Neither's really right or wrong. It just depends on what you prefer.
Here, it may seem weird, but Switzerland hitting their own. They didn't want to leave the pocket. That was, I think, their worry of where they had set up those stones as we look at second numbers. And Becca Hamilton's had a better second half, picking up her numbers at 80% to 88 of Esther Neuenschwander.
Either one. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, right? You throw a hit on your own rock. The only thing that happened there is they got rid of the pocket for Switzerland, but they did actually move that one to the tee line. So if it ever comes back into play, there is maybe a freeze opportunity, but it's a great shot by Esther.
Come on, all the way, come on. All you got, come on. Line's fine. Okay, weight's fine. Whoa, whoa, whoa. 4-3.
Whoa.
Yep, Tara, finish it.
Yep.
Let's go.
Well, they had to get one buried in behind, and a nice stone there from Becca
Well
Hamilton.
done.
Nicely done.
We've said it through many broadcasts that you give up that steal, you want to just try and put 8 shots together as Team USA. Maybe you get a little mistake from your opponent, you may have a chance for 3. Switzerland peels the corner.
What was that? For a long.
I don't know. She didn't say long. Okay. Got a 90 on the split.
Not super positive. It's very similar. Line's good. Line's good. Yep.
Line's good. It's dying.
So an interesting call here by the United States. They definitely could throw the guard on the one that was just removed by Switzerland.
Yep.
Hurry, Tara, go, go, go.
But they've elected to try and lie 2 red stones in the rings.
5-9.
I think I would have maybe liked to see another guard, especially early in the end. At some point you will have to play into the rings, but I don't think that was the time.
If you play it, you obviously got to get into the rings. Now that one in the house can be hit.
Sister call, 10,5. Yeah.
And not just looking to hit, I think they were looking to see where they have to go in order to outcount if a come around's made. To lie 1, 2, 3. So right on the nose, lying 3 now.
Think we can draw one more? Do we have to? Huh?
Look at these third stone numbers. Nina Roth at 88, outplaying her counterpart, Silvana Tiranzoni. Trying to set things up, but it's been the Alina Petz show.
Definitely has.
I like it.
5-6.
Good numbers by Nina. Trying to get one buried behind these 2 staggered guards here.
Whoa, room. Whoa, wait on me. Yep, stay Tara. Yep, come on. 4-5. Careful.
Finish
Right
it.
You finish it. Go.
Bump T.
Nope, just stay. Yep. Okay. Great shot, Neen. Oops, sorry.
So it's third shot in behind.
Good judging. Good spot, Neen. Good judge.
That was a really good shot.
Now's the one they needed the stone before.
Yeah, that miss earlier, unfortunately, by Becca. So for Switzerland now, they don't need to worry about removing both of these red guards. They're just worried about moving the one and trying to expose that stone that was just thrown by USA.
What?
gut, ist gut. Schön. Achtung.
So gets the clean peel.
Schön, Tiri. Gut gespielt. Achtung, pass auf. Sehr gut. Was? Jeder gesagt, Achtung, pass auf.
Yeah, just double those.
You want to double them or do you want to just move them around?
I think double so we can bring that other one in play. Or they're just going to hit it so
I
it
like
doesn't
make
matter.
this.
I like that.
Okay. Even if you just do that, that's okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I
Then you like it with a 9
this
or a
one we
9.5?
don't need to take out. We're shot over this one.
Okay.
Yep.
So maybe I like this better.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So just a 9.5 hit and roll?
9-5, hit and roll, yep.
That's good. I like this.
Is it too late maybe to try and play that tap because this is last to third stones?
I think so. I think this is a good call. Either play the straight double
9.5. Yep.
or you play the hit and roll
9.5.
and hope that you'll have a chance to hit shot rock
Yep.
that's on the tee line there.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yep. Yes, come on.
Well, make the hit. We'll
Okay.
make the
That's what I
double.
need. Good shot.
Good throw.
I think they decide to play the double with it over curling.
That's a really good shot.
Good job.
Good work.
Okay. That's good, Neen. Good shot.
Good throw. No one told us to change
Nobody
the
told
plan.
us anything.
Ich glaube, einfach weil man es besser
They didn't get the memo about the plan change.
Ja. Und sonst kann ich ja nachher immer noch einfach den nehmen. Ich sehe ihn ja ganz.
Dünn halbe dann.
Ja,
Gut. So.
ja, schnell.
8 oder was? 7.
Ja, so, ja, normal, Clearing einfach.
Schön für eine 7, ja. Ist gut.
So ist gut, Tiri, ja.
Are they trying to roll or are they playing this one hard to play the double?
I think they're playing the double. If they hit half a rock on the center line side of this top red, it should avoid the yellow stone and roll over towards the other one and make the double.
Nur rollen, wenn es geht.
Got to hit about half a stone. Bit thick, I think.
Okay,
Just a hair that goes over the top.
gut probiert. Gut probiert.
But look at that, 92% to
Viel gefällt.
Tabitha Peterson's number. Obviously go down with 2 misses in that last end. Before that,
Hij is nog recht geurlijk.
not far off of her
Even
counterparts.
let's get to it. Just don't know if we can get it to be shot.
That should be close.
Okay. I like it.
Just a rock above tee line.
Just draw. Where? Over to the side of the 8 foot.
See the time ticking down in the back there, Luke, at 8:35 for the United States and still ticking. Probably need about, I'd say about 4 minutes per end, and they're going to be pretty close.
14
We
still.
do have another rock left here, I believe, in the 8th end.
And the one timeout that each team is given. Either side have used it here in this game.
Line's good.
So they need this
Full
one
8 foot.
full 8 foot,
Line's good.
preferably
Still running.
even with the other red
Just a
stone, so
7.
there's no double
Curling a
possibility.
little.
7.
Stay close.
7. Weight's
7's
really
great.
nice.
Yep.
7
line.
is T line.
Good girl.
Just
Very
touch the
nice.
other one
Nice shot.
on the side
Really good sweep, you guys.
to lie 1-2.
Ja, von innen. Gut, 10,5. Ja. Genau, Nase. Ja, voll.
Don't think there's a double there. I don't know if physics allow it.
Genau, Nase.
I don't think so.
Genau, Nase ist gut, ja.
But it's interesting. So what Switzerland's going to do is they're going to hit
Viel oben im
and
Fall, ja.
maybe sort of corner freeze to the yellow stone that's right next to it. And if it's shot rock, USA's got to come back and try and probably make the double and stick their shooter to get their 2. So just trying to increase the degree of difficulty on the USA last stone.
Sicher da. Schnell.
Niet
nog opgaan.
Esther.
Well, trying to get this one to curl to make that little roll.
Okay, gut.
Just noses it, but I think a nose back should be good enough to score the 2. And Switzerland probably has no problem giving up a 2 at this point. They get the hammer and a 2-point lead and a World Championship semifinal.
I think they'd be very, very comfortable with that position.
Need a little bob. Just a hair.
get their first 2 of the game. They had a chance in the second, but a rollout by Peterson. This time wants the nose to score 2.
Hard. Come on. Hurry! Oh, come on. Gotta go. Come on.
Have to roll in, can't roll away, and another one rolls the wrong way for Team USA, and they only get 1. They let another point slip.
Silver curled on us, huh?
6-3, Switzerland leading. They'll get the hammer back in control of this semi-final.
Eine, zwei machen, dann ist gut. Scoren. Scoren.
So, Eis auf Peeling, dann unseren abknallen oder was anderes. Ist gut.
Great, I will give it to you.
Well, the first semi-final in the late stages here, the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2021. Luke Coley alongside Melissa Saligo. And that steal of 2, 7th end, obviously jumps out, but we look back, a miss in the second end by Tabitha Peterson. Didn't get a second point. Don't get that second point there, but you look back, even that second, you lose that second point, and you sort of give a little bit of momentum. Switzerland gets a break that goes their way, and they don't need any breaks the way they've been playing this week.
Again, Switzerland is playing incredible. They have been all week. Their record shows it, their percentages show it, their team averages show it. And yeah, you know, as a team, the last thing you want to do is leave points off the board, right? You work so hard for points, and you want to make sure that you put them all on the board if you can. And just unfortunately for USA, that mistake in the second end that gave up a point, and again in this end. And I know they gave up that steal of 2, but that is 2 extra points that have been left off.
Very nice 3.
And a miss to start this 9th end for Switzerland, trying to play that tick shot. So Melanie Barbazat. US down 3, needs to go all out.
A little bit more, but yeah, I think it should go.
Yeah, you can expect them to throw the double center.
We got room. Yep. Finish it.
And for Team Switzerland, sometimes you'll play the tick again on the second one, but if you miss it on the first, a lot of teams will just elect to come right in into the forefoot.
Good judge back.
So we'll see what Switzerland decides to do.
Really good, you guys. Very good judging.
Looks like they're going to play it again.
Is that because of a 3-point lead?
I would think so. I don't think, you know, we talked about it. They don't need any more points at this point. They are in full control of this game. Hammer up 3. So you might as well take another attempt at this.
Big effort. Esther Neuenschwander. Chip that one off. Does it go out, as you see? USA trying to get it, but it'll stay in play.
Yep.
Super, Melly. Perfect.
What a shot. You miss it on your first, you make it on your second.
Well then. Okay,
Well then.
Looking for a high center guard. Don't want this too deep.
Whoa. Whoa. Wait only. Okay. Wait only. Line's fine.
That's good.
Nice work. Good
Got
back
the
up.
guards out in play, and obviously the winner of this goes to the gold medal game. Loser will play for bronze, and US is trying to win their first medal since '06. It's been a while for them. 2018, they lost the bronze medal game. That was Jamie Sinclair. Mr. Neuenschwander going to peel the front.
What? Deep top.
I think we've said it a few times. It's still, to see the strength of the Swiss curling right now, this way this team is going. 5 World Championship titles in 8 years. Before that, they only had 2 in their previous World Championships, and it had been a while. Since it was 1983 to 2012, the big gap between winning one.
Line's nice. Tara.
Yeah, they have been very dominant, as you say, Luke, and very dominant in this game as well.
Good. Very nice back. Great pair.
Here's 2 good ones by
Nicely
Becca.
done.
Supporter normal. Ja, vuurklaar also.
And for Switzerland, it's not about taking chances here, right? It's they, like I said, they're in control. Single peels are totally fine.
Is goed.
If for any reason they were to give up a steal of 1, they would be up 2 with hammer coming home. Again, full control. And that's what it's about, trying to maintain as much control as you can here. Last couple ends.
Zo goed.
What? Deep top.
Well, in 13 round-robin games, they only gave up 7 steals. And they only gave up 7 points stolen, so only 1 at a time. There's never a multi-point steal.
Pretty stingy.
It's tough to come back against. They're good at forcing with the hammer. Obviously, you're going to have those numbers when you're losing only 1 game.
You know, I just, as we're just talking about stats a little bit, when you out curl an opponent by 5% or more, you get a plus. So we do a plus minus. And just a massive stat here is Switzerland as a team is plus 56 for the championship. Plus 56. It is absolutely incredible. So unfortunate miss there by Nina. Hogs that rock.
Yeah, you're trying to get that long guard and get as much separation, but obviously it's got to cross the center line to get, or the hog line, pardon me, for it to stay in play.
Squat. Even poetsen. Poetsen. En die super.
Switzerland looking in a very good, comfortable position, trying to move into tomorrow's gold medal game.
You got it, Nate.
Yeah.
On the men's world championship a couple weeks ago, it was Nicholas Edin who was the reigning champ, winning that one. Switzerland and Alina Petz going to try and do the same thing in the curling
Right
bubble.
Plenty of room. Tara.
5, 6.
Oh, take a look.
5. It's got to finish.
7.
No, it's not.
Trying to wrap around the wide one. Use anything.
Finish it. Come on. Tuck it. Let's go. Yep. Good. Good scrub. 3-9. Nicely done. Good job, Nina.
Good job.
Nice job, Nina.
Well, you said it, Melissa. No need to take any risk. You might see them try and chase in a tighter game, but here, just peel this one. You're going to have an open shot, whether you want to play the draw or the hit, on your last or later in this end.
Goed, Diri. Schön. Schön.
Right.
Unless you like this.
Yeah.
Just in.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, it's what do you want to leave your opponent in right now? Petz is at 90%, both draws and hits. And you're not going to see a lot of misses from either side in drawing the 8-foot by both skips in this game. You don't get to the semifinal of the Worlds and not be able to make that consistently.
That's right, and we've seen Tabitha obviously make a couple great draws. She made that draw to win the quarterfinal to get here. All USA can do right now is put their rocks, these last 2 rocks in good positions and hope for maybe a small miss out of Alina Petz.
Maybe put this just in and get something to hide behind a tight guard.
Starting to curl.
Yeah, I would think top 12 maybe here. You don't need to go deep.
4-6. Whoa. Step here. Good judge. Nice job.
Nice shot, Tab. Good job. Really good sweep.
So top 12, they'll lie 1-2.
Good work.
I think for Switzerland, they could actually probably take on the double.
And there's really no risk. You
There's
peel this
no
one,
risk.
it's a good shot, but you make the double, it's even better. Now on it right out of her hand, maybe a hair narrow, and we'll hit and roll it off to the side.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I just saw that release a bit. It kind of like fell out of her hand and, as you say, tight out of her hand. Does get rid of 1, so gives USA the option or opportunity to lie 2 again.
Same? Yeah.
Now you just watch this release here. She's about to put the turn on it, and her fingers kind of grabbed at the end of the handle there. Just enough to affect the path.
But with that one, had the room for error, knowing that you just didn't want that stone in that position.
Full 12 foot's good.
5, 4.
Gotta be full 12 foot. Still running.
Careful, careful, careful.
Still running.
It's good.
Want to try and lie 1-2 with this final stone for Tabitha Peterson.
Starting to curl now.
Whoa.
4-7.
Whoa, I like it.
Line's fine. Whoa.
4-7, full 12.
Sit.
Atta girl. Good job.
Good shot, Tab. Good job.
Just in and facing 2. Could decide to draw, electing to play the hit, little roll to get a single point.
Yeah, for Switzerland, you're hitting all day. Whether you hit and get your 1, you hit or play the double, you get your 2, or you hit and roll out and give up a steal of 1. It's all good in terms of Switzerland right now. Obviously, they would like to hit and roll and get their single. You can see by the ice that they're taking, they're not throwing a ton of weight, so they're not trying the double on this one.
Well, trying to make the hit, get a little roll. Try to make the hit, get the roll, and that one will be good in the 8-foot. Get the single point. Just that quiet weight.
We're done. Good luck.
And that is it, the concession, as the U.S. will concede defeat to the Swiss, and Switzerland will go to another World Championship final as Alina Petz and their team put on another show here in this semifinal. 7-3 winners over United States, so the United States will play for bronze tomorrow.
Well played.
Thanks.
There you go, Melly.
Yes.
Oh. Proud of you.
Oh.
Hey.
Proud
of you. My favorite player. Hört sich gut im Fernsehen an.
Well, sixth end and a mess of stones on the center line. And USA goes back to the back button, pardon me. Looks like he could draw to it for Lena Petz in her final stone. Trying to get a single point. And they'll switch. At this point, it looks like they change a strategy. Playing the draw, they switch to try and get the curl and play the little tap. And we'll move them up, able to get that one top the button, get the single point. Right back, pivotal point of the game. Come around by Alina Petz, just on the top of the button. You can see maybe an inch, inch and a half. Could play quiet weight, which they played on their first. Electing to go and try and pick this one out, make the double for the American skip.
Yep. Hard. Hurry. Hurry.
And they have to get by the top one. They don't. It wrecks on the front, and it's a steal of 2 for Team Switzerland. The ninth end, no guards in front. Switzerland with the lead. They have to just make sure you don't give up a steal. Just score. And Alina Petz has a hit and roll to make sure they do just that. Well, and the defending champion, Alina Petz, Esther Neuenschwander able to hold this one. Will make the hit and the roll. Good enough to get the 1, and the U.S. concedes. Switzerland picks up the victory in this first of 2 semifinals.
Yes, Mom.
So with that win, 7-3 goes into the books. Switzerland is the first team into the gold medal game. RCF Sweden is the other semifinal. The winner will play Switzerland. Loser will play the United States. Of course, Switzerland, the top seed in round robin, has that 7-3 win over the U.S. RCF and Sweden 2-3. RCF avoiding the qualification game where Sweden beat Canada earlier today. This is how the round robin, we see the 6 Qs. Those are also the teams that have qualified their countries for the Olympic Winter Games next year. Korea just missing out at 7-6. So those 6 Qs are very important, not just to the playoffs, but getting to the Olympic Winter Games at the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2021.
Savannah, congratulations on an amazing performance by your team. How are you guys feeling?
Oh, amazing, you know. We have been playing very well the whole week, but it's still like an important game, you know. You never know. It's if you can perform the same way you have done all week. So, and the first few ends were a little shaky, but then we finally got into a routine and could enjoy actually the game.
Did anything change out there with the ice conditions at all?
It's always a little different when if you're the only game there. So it's, you know, like a little frost, but really like not really. It was very similar to the rest of the week. So ice was great.
Fantastic. So as you look forward till tomorrow, the gold medal game again, how do you go about preparing?
Now we're first going to enjoy this one a little bit, and then we will find a way to prepare and hopefully be ready for Russia or Sweden.
Fantastic. We wish you the best of luck in tomorrow's gold medal game.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Switzerland is into the world final again tomorrow, the gold medal game for Melissa Soligo, myself, Luke Coley, our entire crew. Semifinal 2 coming up tonight at the LGT World Women's Curling Championship.